on a paper you can list all the activities like case processing, signal management, or aggregate reports, but the real story is how these things are connected together. And it's the connection between our two teams, my team of PV scientists and also your team of safety physician, what makes our approach really different. And we are also here today to discuss a little bit what this activity is about.
So Paulina, when we onboard a new client, then what we typically do is that we sit down and we go through every single detail of this project, what is upcoming. We are looking into the protocol. We are looking to the safety data, what is available to us, and we are making a plan. We create the oversight plan for the specific client for specific project.
Yes, that's right, and that's really what makes our approach different. We invest the time at the beginning, because every client is different. Every study has a different risk, different regulatory reporting timelines, and other requirements. So at the beginning, we really need to sit together and go through the protocols to prepare the safety management plans, client-specific study forms. We also preparing a unique governance structure and also escalation pathways for every client.
This tailoring, what we do, is not something nice to have. It is actually having a meaning that to keep the patient safe, to keep the client, the sponsor, compliant with the regulatory requirements. And that's where we prepare this safety management plan, as you mentioned, to detail down every single task we perform from this client. For me, it is very important to go through the protocol, through the IB, to understand the therapeutic area, to understand the product, to understand what we are planning to provide to the client.
Yeah, and our work, it's not just two of us. Behind our work, we have a team of qualified PV scientists, also safety physician, and we have also our chief medical officer who is overseeing the medical side of every single project in iVigee, and also our head of PV operations who is overseeing the operational side and PV science. So our clients really get the full team, the full experts, not just one single person who is overwhelmed and it's trying to do everything by himself. Piret, and I think one of the things our clients really appreciate is how our two functions, your medical safety expertise and my PV science, really collaborate together. So can you talk a little bit about what this cross collaboration between our teams really looks like in day-to-day practice?
From my perspective, where I am doing the medical review of everything what we create and what we analyze, it starts with ICSRs, the cases, their seriousness, causality, expectedness assessments. And then I am looking into the bigger picture, into the aggregate data from the EDC listings, from the Argus listings, from the laboratory data. I am leading the safety team meetings with this data. But I cannot do that without Paulina's team, your team, preparing this data for analysis and for assessment. When your team has processed the cases properly, accurately, when your team already has flagged the relevant safety information in the data, then it is making my work much easier and straightforward.
And of course, it goes also other way around. So when you or your team of safety scientists identify some safety trends, for example, increase in liver enzymes, or you have some unexpected cluster of adverse events. It's information for my team for case processing and also how to prioritize then the activities. So I think, yeah, our cross collaboration is really essential, and we cannot do it without each other.
I agree with you 100%. I think it is extremely important that our teams understand each other's positions and work they do. Your team understands the medical context, and my team is understanding operational side and regulatory context.
Yeah, I've always said that case processing without medical context, it's just a data entry, and also, and from the other side, the medical review without a solid case processing is just a guesswork.
That's very true.
Piret, safety governance in clinical trials is something we spend a lot of time on with our clients. Can you explain a little bit what this activity really means?
Sure, I can explain it, and I would want to bring out one very important point in this, what you just mentioned. The post-marketing pharmacovigilance and clinical trial safety governance are one and the same thing in the drug life cycle. They are just applied differently in practice. It is the same structured regulatory framework what is in post-marketing PV. And it means looking into the safety data as it evolves in the clinical trial, looking into the EDC data, looking into the adverse events, not only serious adverse events, but also non-serious adverse events, listings of laboratory findings, ECGs, vital signs, and putting this data together and finding the safety concerns in this evolving data. And the difference with the PV pharmacovigilance in its regular meaning is that we have very little data at that time when we are in early phase clinical trials, and every little data element makes huge difference when we get it. We bring this safety data, what we have collected during our reviews, to the sponsor on the safety meetings, and we discuss them and we assess if there are any trends, any patterns, any concerns, which taken alone would not be relevant. But when you look into the aggregate data, then you see that there might be something evolving.
Yes, and I'm very happy that within all of this safety governance, we can support you from the operational side, because my team are the people who are preparing the data, who are analyzing data from the safety database, also from clinical database. They are preparing the line listings, also compliance report that are then used by you and your team during these reviews and safety meetings. So when you actually then go and present at the safety meetings in front of the clients, you know that the data are solid, they are verified and also reconciled. And I think what makes our safety governance model very valuable for a small and mid-sized biotech is that they don't have their safety governance structure yet. So we bring it to them, we set it up, we run it, and we grow it also with their program.